So coming up 10 p.m. over on Showtime, it's our main event, Lucas Matthysse against Mike Dallas Jr. Now, only 2 weeks from tonight, we've got the man regarded as the junior welterweight champion of the world. He's got the Ring Magazine belt. He's got 2 of the sanctioning body belts, the WBA and the WBC belts. That's Danny Garcia. He'll be taking on ZAB JUDAH. ZAB JUDAH, former, of course, champion at 140 pounds, a titleist, but the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, taking another shot at the world championship in his old weight class, 140 pounds. And joining me right now, ZAB JUDAH himself, Super Judah. It's good to see you again,
How are you, Brian?
ZAB.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing now? Again, you're 2 weeks away from a shot at the real title. You were once the world champion. What would it mean to you to win that fight?
Well, it's going to mean everything to me. You know what I mean? I worked hard for this position again. I worked myself, excuse me, back up to this position, and I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait.
You know, you look so great. I would just say this now because you got back to 140 pounds, and most guys, as they get up in years, they can't get back down to their old weight. How are you able to do this?
Well, just hard work, dedication, prayers, and belief. You know what I mean? Just staying dedicated to my craft, and in my heart, from a kid at 6 years old, this is all I ever did, and so I know at heart, I don't want to do anything else but be a champion, and it's just in me.
I mentioned that Lucas Matthysse is one of the most avoided fighters in the sport. You did not avoid him. You actually got in the ring with him. So, what's your take on tonight's fight? Matthysse, Mike Dallas Jr., what do you think happens?
Well, you know, I don't know much about Mike Dallas Jr., but I do know about Matthysse. I am the first person to beat Matthysse, you know what I'm saying? And he's a tough fighter. One thing I do know is he carried power in both hands. Dynamite power, you know what I'm saying? Mike Dallas, I heard he's a good boxer. You know, if he boxes and sticks to his game plan, it should be a good night. If he stands in front of Lucas Matthysse, it's not going to be a good night for him.
Good scouting report from ZAB JUDAH, who's been in there with Matthysse and beat him as well. ZAB, by the way, will be tweeting for us tonight. You'll be ringside and giving your live reports out there for people who follow ZAB on Twitter. I want to ask you, you know, I know that you were going after Danny Garcia, that you wanted to fight him. You pushed for this fight. You made it happen. Look, you've got the brand name. You know, you've got the fans. Again, you have the proper respect from the fans and the hardcore fans in the sport. But what did you see in Garcia that you thought, oh no, I want to get in there with that guy. I must get that guy.
Well, you know what it is? It wasn't about Danny Garcia. It was about the championships. You know what I mean? Just fulfilling out my dream and becoming the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world. Again, you know what I'm saying? Being the first man to do it in 2 different weight classes. You know what I mean? So that's my whole dream. You know what I mean? It could have been anyone here. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it's Danny Garcia, and February 9th, y'all, I'm bringing the pain.
Good. Look, we're all looking forward to it. We have a lot of respect for Garcia, young guy, unbeaten. We're going to talk about...
He got time to come back and win again later on.
That's very
right
nice
now, it's my time.
Also want to ask you as well about his dad. And I don't ask you about the dad very often, but we'll do that when we go over on Showtime. You come back up here. ZAB JUDAH, former world champion at 147 pounds. Guy who was mixing it up with Mickey Ward 15 years ago. Good to see him still out here.
Brooklyn,
ZAB.
baby, we back.
That's in Brooklyn in 2 weeks on Showtime. More live boxing here on Showtime Extreme. Let's go back to ringside to Barry Tompkins.
All right, thanks very much, Brian. Well, it's interesting. I mean, he said he's going to bring the pain. He doesn't have to bring it very far. It's his hometown, Brooklyn, New York.
That's right. ZAB JUDAH is a perfect example of the saying that youth is wasted on the young, because no one's ever questioned ZAB's ability. He always had tremendous ability. But maybe the focus and maturity wasn't there when he was younger, although he was still a very accomplished fighter. Now he's older. He's been dismissed many times, but he's earned this fight. Remember, he beat Lucas Matthysse, Barry, and then not too many guys right now look like they're good enough to beat Lucas Matthysse. So this fight against Danny Garcia, ZAB JUDAH's earned it.
Yeah, and the other thing about ZAB JUDAH is every time you do dismiss him, he wins a big fight, and he's right back in the mix.
And I always think of ZAB this way. Something dramatic always seems to happen in ZAB JUDAH fights. We think of the Kostya Tszyu fight. We think of him outboxing Mayweather for 3 or 4 rounds when they fought. The Cotto fight with all the blood and the low blows. Something always happens, and ZAB delivers most of the time.
All right, let's talk about a young guy who hopes to be what ZAB JUDAH has been.